Hello, faculty and college leaders. We are excited to really move into the most active phase of our program mapping project for this year. Some of you have already been doing this. You'll notice that there are some maps that are already in progress that you can see in our spreadsheet. You'll notice if you scroll down, there are some that are already complete. So thank you very much for that work. And there's a lot in here that you're not going to have to worry about. You'll notice a whole bunch of no action needed. So some of you may have been in this spreadsheet before, but we've cleaned it up and changed some things around in order to make it fully useful for this next phase. So first thing I want to say, just to kind of on the organizational side, most of these columns are locked down and you cannot make changes to them. You can add a comment to any cell, but you just can't change the content in it. The two columns that you have control over are the mapping status column, and then here further to the right, the notes column. And we encourage you to use those columns as you need. So what we have done is we have identified for every program that is in the GCC program bank, whether it is not active, this is information that you have provided to us based on how you administer these programs, whether it's stackable, which means it is a CCL where there is a larger degree. And so we're going to focus at this point on those larger degrees, or whether it is that larger degree and it's mapped and it's ready to move into the next phase of program mapping and program assessment. So you'll notice for every program that's not active or stackable, it's marked here as no action needed. Great. You'll notice that some faculty have started the mapping process, and you'll notice they are tagged as here in progress, and that should hopefully be an incentive for you. And I think as we looked already, there are a few that are already done. So what we're asking you to do is to hopefully get to that green point by the end of spring assessment week. This task really should not take very long. I'm not going to explain the task here because there's a separate video that does that. And Gina Stevens, our program assessment coach, is available for any help you may need. So the idea is that what you're going to do during spring assessment week is you're going to come into your map. Now you'll notice here it says, I don't have access to this map. We didn't want to give everybody edit access. So the first time you come into the map, just click that request access button and we'll make sure that you are able to go in and edit. You'll also just notice some additional information about the program here, number of completers, number of enrollees. This is average data over the last about 5 years, who we've identified as the program lead, department, and so on. If you notice any mistake in any of this, even though you can't edit this content, you can click on it and add a comment, and then we'll come in and take care of that. All right, but over here, you'll notice that most program maps are listed as ready for faculty. That's the very first part. Then, as you work on the map, you can choose to change it to in progress. But the goal by the end of spring assessment week is for you to mark this phase 1 complete, required controlled classes. That's what we're doing during phase 1, just focusing us on a small subset of classes on your map. This phase 1 complete verified, this is where we are going to go in and just verify that what you have marked as complete is in fact complete and that we don't have any further questions. Now, the other thing you're going to see here is consult needed. So we are going to use a spreadsheet as a way to make sure that anytime there's a question or concern, we can connect with you. So let's say on this program right here, the program director has some questions. They can mark consult needed. And then what we'd like you to do is come in, add a comment. You can tag Gina Stevens, our program assessment coach, on this, assign it to her, ask a question. You could tag me on it as well, hit the comment button, and then we will follow up with you. We will do the same thing if we have a consult for you. We will mark this as consult needed and tag you in it. And that way we can see that there are, kind of a thread of conversation about any of these consult needed, and that way we can resolve any issues we have, and it's all contained in one place. So you can see here, I have a consult needed, and there's a question about this particular program, and I'll follow up with the program director on that. So I think that's everything you need to know at this point. We are going to have many, many, many assessment week high noon help desk hours. So if you need help with any of this, please reach out. I guess the last thing I want to mention here is the way this is organized. It's organized numerically by program, and we've organized it based on the larger program. So you'll see here that if there are, a mapped program and a stackable program, they're going to be next to each other. Because of the way this is locked down, you are not going to be able to sort the way you might want to typically. So I just want to give you the hint in Google Sheets. This is what happens. So let's say I want to find psychology here, but I'm unable to do this because it's not letting me. What you do is you come up here to the lettered column header. There is an arrow drop down on the right hand side. You click that, you sort it A to Z, Z to A, doesn't matter. Anyway, that now turns on a temporary filter that's just for you. And at this point, I now can search for my program as you would doing any normal filtering. And now I've found it here. And then this doesn't disrupt the way that anybody else sees that filter. So just to make sure that's clear again, I don't want to save that. If you are in here, just sort by any column. It doesn't matter which one, A to Z, Z to A, but in the lettered section. And then that allows you to do the regular sort in the other part of the spreadsheet. All right, on that note, thank you very much. And we look forward to having lots of program maps being completed next week.